Hey there, everyone. My name is Ryan Schewel. Welcome to my channel. In the project today, I want to talk about theme park attendance forecasting and staff planning for these theme parks. Okay, so this is actually very important if you work for a major entity like Disney, Universal, Six Flags, some regional park, some enterprise like this. It's extremely operationally complex with a lot of moving parts and a lot of high fixed costs and massive day-to-day variability in attendance based on all kinds of things. Day of the week, abbreviated DOW on the weekends is super busy. Weekdays, not so much. Weather patterns, right? You can expect maybe Saturday and Sunday a big crowd, but if it's rainy and dismal out, then it's probably going to be a diminished number of people coming out, right? Or maybe none. Maybe the park will close down if there's possibility of lightning. I've seen that happen before. So basically, we're trying to do some forecasting here and try to understand how to solve real problems like staffing needs. And this can be very costly if it's not done correctly, right? If it's done right, it's seamless. I heard somebody say a long time ago, and it stuck with me for years, if you really do your job correctly, people think you've done nothing at all, right? If you screw up big time, everybody's going to know about it. If you do your job correctly, it's just going to be seamless. Things will be moving, things will be going, transactions are happening, and everybody's happy, and everything's lovely, right? If you screw up, everybody knows about it. So if you do your job right, it seems like you've done nothing at all. So just do nothing at all, or do your job right, but don't screw up. So let's take a deep dive here and see how we can not screw up and do this correctly. So we have to understand labor costs, attendance. This is going to vary day to day, week to week, month to month. Guest experience and queue times. All right, this is very important. I just put out a video a couple days ago about queues at NBA stadiums, queues for concession stands. Okay, before the game, at midtime, halftime, whatever, in the middle of the game, and then towards the end of the game, people can grab some food before they head out. So understanding lines and queues is important. Safety and ride operations, cleaning and sanitizing, inventory planning, weather and risk management, budgeting, finance, dynamic pricing, maintenance scheduling, entertainment scheduling. So all these different things are really under the microscope here, and people are looking at this stuff, right? So if you're responsible for these things, you got to get it right. Let's see how to do it right. So let's start with a hypothetical example over here. I have some dates, day of the week. I usually abbreviate it DOW. Here I'm spelling it out, and we're going to look at the month. Okay, so let me hit Control Enter here to run this, and we're going to look at some different seasons. So 6, 7, 8. These are the months of the calendar: June, July, August. This is March and April, and this is December. Now, depending on where you are in certain countries around the world or different states in the United States, like if you're in Florida or Texas, in December, I would imagine the theme parks are probably open. I don't know for sure how it works down there. I'm in New York. We don't have really any theme parks around here. We have something called Coney Island. We have something called American Dream, which is kind of a theme park, I guess. Coney Island is outside, and it's not operating during the winter. American Dream actually is, because it's inside. But any kind of water park or big outdoor like theme park, Six Flags or whatever, I think all these things are closed in December, at least in the northern part of the United States. So understanding the season and the season effects is important. Understanding just the basic attendance, you can expect a weekend boost, a seasonal effect, right? In the warmer months, it's probably going to be higher. In the cooler months, it's going to be a little bit lower, especially if the kids are back in school. So the attendance is going to fluctuate quite a bit. We have to understand that and bake that into our analysis. So that's what I've done here. We have the data frame head, day of the week, month, season, any kind of trends, yes or no, and then overall attendance per day. So this is day 1, day 2, this is January, right? Now this is not New York because there's no Six Flags running in New York on January 1st, I'm pretty sure. And this is January 3rd, but I'm assuming down south, or just a hypothetical scenario just to illustrate the point of what I'm trying to do here, okay? So we have the basic data frame with some basic metrics, day of the week, month, number of people in attendance, things like that. Now I want to use some machine learning right here. We're going to focus on this thing called a random forest regressor. I've talked about this in probably at least a couple dozen of my videos. So if you've seen the other videos, you're pretty familiar with this. Basically, we're going to take a bunch of numerical inputs and outputs and try to predict a certain output. Okay, so that's called the target variable or the y variable. The x variable is the input and the y variable is the target. So we're trying to predict what? What are you trying to predict? In every case, when you're making a prediction for anything, it's always different, but it should be fairly obvious. Like if you're dealing with weather, you're trying to predict either the temperature or is it going to be sunny, rainy, cloudy, something like that. You're trying to make some type of prediction with the weather, with the sunshine or no sun. If it's some kind of ride sharing app, Uber or Lyft, you're trying to predict the price and the time to get to your destination. There's two ways you can make those predictions. You wouldn't predict two at once, but you would predict one or the other. You could do both, but they're separate and independent, right? So we always have one target variable. Here it's going to be attendance. Hopefully that makes sense. You have different inputs, month, season, trend. We are trying to predict the attendance. We're not trying to predict the date. We're not trying to predict the day of the week. Okay, these are given, these are known. The thing that we don't know is the attendance. So we're going to look at historical attendances based on different dates, days of the week, month, seasonal effects, and try to predict attendance into the future based on what's happened in the past. So let me hit Control Enter to run this. I want to get an R squared that's at least 0.7 or higher. In this case, it's 0.48. So this is kind of low. The model is making predictions about 50% correct, not even 50%. 48% of the time it's correct. 52% of the time it's actually incorrect. So it's just making a guess about what the attendance is. And this truly is just a guess. It's actually not very accurate at all, right? So we want to see this as 0.7 or greater. So at least 70% of the time when we're trying to make a prediction, we're going to get it right or we're going to be pretty close. If it's less than 50%, that is intolerable. We can't really live with 40% accuracy, right? We need at least 0.7 or higher. So we're going to have to add a couple features or somehow embellish or enhance the data that we're working with, okay? So it's pretty dismal, 0.48% of the time it's correct, 52% of the time it's not correct. These are the features right here. We're trying to predict attendance. So what do we have for independent features? Is weekend, month, and is this a trend? That's great, but it's not enough. We need more features here. So let's get the day of week, month, year, is weekend, seasonal effects, lag 1, 7, and lag 14, okay? So we're gonna look at these different lags and say, let me go back 1 day, 7 days, 14 days. Is there any trend? Is there any repeating pattern? Is it a weekend? Is it a year, month, seasonal effects, something like that? I just want more features that I can use to train my model and make the prediction. Remember, I'm trying to predict attendance. So that is right here. This is number of people that are going to come out to the amusement park or to the theme park. That's what I'm trying to predict. If I can't get this to at least 0.7, I can't even do this analysis. It's almost useless. I'm going to have to pick either a different model or get new features or get a deeper history of features or change the hyperparameters. There's many ways to try to solve this problem. Let me see if I can pick up some extra R squared here with extra features. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's 8 features. Before I only had 3. So I added in 5 more features. Control Enter. Let's see if this is going to give us a boost. I think it did. And it actually threw an error down here. So let me redo this. Let me redo this one. Attendance. Okay, it's saying attendance, not an index. I know what happened. Okay, let me go back and look for this. I'll be right back. Hang on there. Okay, so I went ahead and added back the lag features. Okay, so we have everything we need. Let me go ahead and hit Control Enter in this cell to refresh it, and let's see what we get. Again, we're trying to get this R squared up from 0.46 to at least 0.70. If we can do that, we can move on, and perfect, right there, 0.70, just what I was hoping for. So again, there's a few ways to do this. Adding features, that's exactly what we did. If you go back here, we have 3, is weekend, is month, and T. This is the trend. Now, that was only 3. That's not a whole lot of features to train a model. Now we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we almost doubled, almost tripled the number of features, almost tripled it. And now the model is able to learn more nuances about the data and through iterations and different combining different features together in patterns of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the pattern is based on this random forest regressor or gradient boosting regressor. Then we can go ahead and look at our target variable. Remember, this is the attendance, the independent variables. is this right here. It's these 8 right here. And then we're going to go ahead and feed that into the model. The model can look at this, look at a training set and a holdout set. So the training is right here. That's 0.7 by default. The testing set is the remainder, so it's 0.3. And it's comparing what the model would have predicted, or what the model actually predicted, against what it would expect, and that is the test set. Okay, so we're comparing the test to the holdout set, and that's where we get the 0.7. So now we can move on. So we have the model. This model comes from right here. If you look closely, model fit, and the model right here was named as GradientBoostingRegressor. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but you can go ahead and Google that and see what it does. It basically takes one item and boosts it to another level, takes the best results of that, boosts it to another level, takes the best results, boosts that, and so on and so forth. And we have our hyperparameters down here. So this is another way to try to improve the overall learning proficiency of the model. So we have the model here. Let me hit Control Enter to run this. We are looking to make a forecast into the future 30 days. And we're looking in this range. So the forecast days goes down here. The last date is days -1, and we have DOW. This is the day of the week, the month, the year, and is weekend. So these are the features that we're focusing on. Remember, the day of the week, Monday through Friday, versus Saturday and Sunday, the attendance is going to be different. The people going to the theme park is going to be different, at least in terms of the numbers of people. It's going to be higher in the weekend, almost guaranteed, without exception, and lower Monday through Friday, okay? Based on the month, June, July, August, as kids are out of school, there's going to be more kids going to the theme park, right? Based on the year, the trends can fluctuate year to year. I wouldn't expect like a huge fluctuation year to year, but more month to month, and definitely day of the week and is weekend. So day of the week and is weekend are two different things, but they're kind of one and the same, right? So we have 5, 6 is Saturday and Sunday. We start with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday and Sunday is 5 and 6. So we have lag 1, lag 7, lag 14. This is just looking back in time, 1 day, 7 days, or 14 days. Okay, I think I just hit enter. I did, and it didn't pick that up. Was there a problem with this one? I might have to, pause it and jump in here and turn on the debugger. Okay, hang on, I'll be right back. All right, so I looked into it. I guess I deleted a block of code. I recovered from an older version I had and restored this whole thing. So remember, we had the model over here. We got 0.70, so 70% of the time, we're making accurate predictions. Unfortunately, 30% of the time, it's not accurate. We can boost that by playing around with the hyperparameters, adding more features, getting longer history for the model to learn and to train and to do testing on. But my goal here is not to get this up to a fantastic, remarkable, absolute, tremendous R-squared. I don't really care about that. 70% is good enough for our purposes today. I'm going to go ahead and run this code block that I've just restored and move on to the next step. Okay, I want to look at the forecast here. And ahead, again, we're looking at the lag. 1 day, 7 days, 14 days. So what happened yesterday, 7 days ago, and 14 days ago. And we're going to combine that with the day of the week, month, year, weekend, seasonal effect, and then the 3 lags that we're looking at. So we have the date and the attendance forecast. So based on all these features, we're forecasting the number of people that will attend this amusement park. Remember, that was the Y variable. That's the target. That's what we're trying to hit. We have the independent variables, which are right here. And we're going to use all the independent variables to predict the one dependent variable. There's only one. There's always one. There can be one or multiple independent variables. There's only one dependent, right? So all of the independent variables have an impact on the dependent, and the dependent is driven by the independent. So we have the attendance forecast. Now we can go ahead and try to forecast different features here, okay? So we're going to look at the staff rides, food, cleaning, and security based on the number of people that are working in these different functions, or these different facilities, whatever you want to call them, different functions, I guess. So we have a ceiling here of the total number divided by 200, 150, 400, and 500. So that's just what we're going to start with. And I don't know if that's the ideal number of people to allocate for those different tasks or those different routines at the amusement park, but we will optimize that. We'll come back and optimize that in a couple of minutes. So that's my estimate. That's my guess for now. I think that kind of makes sense. But again, is it optimal or not? I can't say right now, but we'll determine that in a couple of minutes. So we have the attendance forecast, staff rides, food, staffing, cleaning, and security, and the total staff for the day. So if you take 81, 108, 41, 33, it sums to 263, okay? So every day the staff fluctuates a little bit. This is probably a weekend, it's going up a little bit more. These two are probably weekends because the staff numbers, the staff attendance or whatever is higher. This is probably a weekday because it's a little bit lower. I don't actually have that here, but that would be my guess. So that's fine. So now we're doing the staff shifts A, B, and C, right? So we'll have 3 different shifts. I don't think this is operating in 8-hour shifts, 24 hours a day. So it's not like 8 times 3 is 24. But it's going to be probably maybe 9 to 2, maybe 2 to 5, and then maybe 5 to 9 or something like that. Like we haven't actually determined the actual operating hours, but you can imagine it's going to be somewhat analogous to that, right? So we have the shift A, B, and C for shifts, right? And then we have these different positions or different facilities where the staff will operate, right? So we've got that built up. We've got the staff shifts, okay? And we're going to look at the total staff over here. And now there's another error here. Okay, so a couple blocks of code must have got deleted. Let me look into this. I'll be right back. Okay, I added in another block of code that accidentally got deleted somehow. I don't know how this happens. Gremlins get onto my laptop or something. So yes, so we have the attendance forecast, right? That's what we're trying to predict as the target variable. We have the staff rides, staff food, staff cleaning, staff security. So this is how we're going to allocate the manpower to the different functions of the theme park, right? So rides, food, clean, security. We have the totals over here. So this looks good. I am gonna add in a couple more things too. So shift A, B, and C. So we'll have the first shift, maybe 9 to 1, something like that, 9 to 2. Maybe we'll have a little overlap, maybe 12 to 4, 12 to 5, something like that. And then we'll probably have the late night shift, maybe 4 to 8, 9, 10, whatever time the theme park closes up. Okay, so that's TBD, to be determined. We don't need to know that right now. We're just trying to staff everything so everything is guaranteed to be up and running. We can open the theme park without incident, and it's going to be fully operational, right? And we're going to go ahead in the next step and optimize the way that we allocate the manpower to all of these different functions around the theme park. So we have the attendance forecast on the different dates. Staff ride, food, clean. This is how many people are working. So 41 on this day, 33 on this day. Okay, 88 serving food and 66 doing rides. Staff total, if you total these up, so 66, 88, 33, 27 is 214, okay? And then we have day of the week. So remember I said 0 is Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday is 5, Sunday is 6, okay? So 0 to 6 is weekend, yes or no? And it's a weekend, you can tell that's a Sunday. You can tell this is a Saturday, right? Shift C, A, and B. So we have the shifts. We have the the day of the week and the weekend. We're going to go ahead and give some weighting here to staff total, 25%. If the weekend, we're going to bump up the staff by 25%. Okay, so if the weekend equals 1, so true or false, this is a binary thing. If it's a weekday, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 0 through 4, and then 5 and 6 is Saturday and Sunday. That's the weekend. So we're going to add a little bit of weight for the weekend because we know the attendance is going to jump up a little bit. So here's weekend 1, attendance 16,054, 1,700. Weekday, a little bit lower, 13, 12, 13. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. One more thing to do over here is plot the chart, and we are almost done here. So hang tight, guys. So we're going to look at the date, the attendance, the history type, and the columns, and look back over the course of time to see what's happened in the hist. This is our hist, and we're going to look at the future. We're concatenating these two together, so we're looking backwards in time, making a forecast into the future. So that's the hist, that's the future. The x is going to be the date. This is very common. Date is on the horizontal axis, y is on the vertical. So value in terms of counts. Okay, and we are counting a number of attendees, right? Attendance, yes. So 18,000. And we see the blue is historical and red is the forecast. So we know exactly what's happened in the past. right? From May 7th up until about June, what is it, cut off over here, June 30th. Okay, so starting July 1st, we know what the forecast is going to be into the future, and we know historically what it's been in the past, so we can make these predictions, right? So this is going to be the weekend, and anytime it jumps up, it's going to be a Saturday and a Sunday, so we need higher attendance, um, or the attendance by the public, the paying customer, is going to jump up, so we have to staff accordingly, right? So staff higher on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, a little bit lower on the weekdays, and we can handle the attendance, which is going to jump up on the weekends and dip down a little bit on the weekends. So I have a couple more things in my notes over here. For each ride, can support up to 200 guests per day. Each food staff is 150, cleaning 400, security 500 guests per day. Okay, so guests per day. It's not 500 people on security details, right? But maybe couple of dozen. We can go ahead and optimize that. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. We know historically what the attendance has been. We're forecasting into the future, so that step is done. That looks pretty clean, pretty crisp, pretty nice. I think that is pretty much done. So we have cap rides. So these are going to be the max here. Cap on food, cap on cleaning, cap on security. So again, this is capacity in terms of attendance. How many can we handle per day? So we have staff rides, food, cleaning, and security. And we're going to make sure that the rides are greater than or equal to attendance. This is a coverage, right? Food greater than or equal to attendance. Capacity for cleaning greater than or equal to attendance. And capacity security is greater than or equal to attendance. So we have to make sure that we have at least enough staff that's greater than the number of people that are going to attend when we make these adjustments, right? It's not one-to-one, but you probably need one person serving food for every, I'm going to say like 25 people, 25 customers in attendance, right? Maybe two if you have 50 people in attendance, maybe 4 people on food staff if you have 100 people in attendance. That's my guess. We're going to optimize it in just a minute. Control Enter to run this out. Okay, so we get the output here. This looks pretty straightforward compared to what we've seen before. 81, 108, 41, 33, totals 263. This is a weekend. This is Saturday. I can tell it's a Saturday. Saturday's 5, Sunday 6. 0 through 4 is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That is a weekend. So shift C, A, and B. So A is going to be a little bit earlier. So morning is going to be busy. Afternoon, same busyness, same exact thing. So actually in the evening, it kind of tapers off a little bit, right? So we can let some of the staff go home. And this is a feasible region. So we're trying to test, is this feasible? Yes or no. If it's feasible, all these constraints are met, right? We have enough people on the rides, on the food, on the clearing, on the cleaning, on security, and this is all driven by the number of people in attendance. So if more people come in Saturday and Sunday, we need to staff up a little bit. If fewer people come in Monday through Friday, we can ramp down a little bit. Okay, that is the observation here, or the assumption here. That's the assumption. So the last thing we're going to look at here, wage, rides, food, cleaning, security. That's what we just looked at. 8-hour day. Okay, number times 8. Rides is 190, 140, 410, 490. And we're going to optimize this. So we're going to use a linear programming variable here to optimize the number of staff we have to assign to rides, food, cleaning, and security. Okay, and here's the problem we're trying to solve. We have an objective function. We have to have enough staff on board and solve this problem, right? So it's kind of multifaceted here. We want to minimize the number of staff, but that has to be relative to number of guests that we expect, right? So we can have less staff Monday through Friday because we expect less attendance and less customers. Saturday and Sunday, we have to bump up the staff because we're expecting more people in attendance, right? So so the number of people coming into the amusement park or the theme park really drives the number of staff that we need to hire. So we set up the problem, we try to solve it down here, Control Enter to solve. Okay, attendance forecast 16,000. Staff rides is 81, staff food 108, 41, and 33. But the optimal staff is 85, 115, staff cleaning is 40, and staff security is 33. So that is fine. We actually can let one person go. We hired one too many. Staff food optimization is 115. We have 108, so we have to hire 5, 6, 7 more for the food, and we have to hire 4 more for the rides. We have hired 81, but we need 85 to optimize this. Otherwise, people are going to be waiting longer at the rides. They're going to get frustrated. There's not going to be enough staff at the rides to handle this. So we can play around with the numbers just a tad if we want to, like, jiggle this around a little bit. I can put this at 210. Because remember, I'm just guessing at this point. I don't know what these numbers are. I literally don't know. I'm going to put this at 160. I'm just guessing here. Just guessing. I'm telling the linear programming model, you tell me how to optimize this so I can maximize my revenue, have enough people to cover the attendance, enough staff to cover the attendance, so all the rides are covered, all the food, all the clean, all the security, everything is working like clockwork, right? Perfectly lubricated machine, well-oiled machine. It's go time. Now is the time to go, right? So I'm going to guess what the staff is I need for these rides. But again, I don't know. I know approximate what it is, but I don't know precisely. This model is going to tell me when I rerun it. I want to hire 210, 160, 400, 490. What do I actually get? Staff rides, I need 81. Optimal is 77. So I overhired by 4. I can let 4 people go, or don't call 4 people in, right? Send out an email maybe 2 days before. We expect this many people on 2 days. Here's 48 hours to prepare. I need 108 people on food, or I thought I need 108 people on food. Optimal is 101. Staff clean, I thought I needed 41. 41 is exactly right, and I thought I need 33. At 33 is exactly right. So that's it, guys. That's how you run a theme park, and based on the maximum attendance or the average attendance, whatever you want to call it, the expected attendance, we can forecast into the future what the attendance is going to be tomorrow, the day after that, next week, next month, and so on and so forth, and plan our staffing needs accordingly. We think it's going to be this right here, right, which is pretty close, but the optimal actual number is right here. So there you go, guys. And sealed and delivered. Put a stamp on it, put a bow on it, we're all done. This looks beautiful. Okay, that's the optimized solution for this theme park, for this amusement park. So there we go. So hopefully that makes sense. Leave something in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. That's going to help me. Still, I haven't made a penny on this thing. I've been doing this for about 18 months. Haven't made one single penny on the initiative yet. Lots of labor, lots of effort went into this. Lots of love too. Lots of love. I'm not going to lie about that. But it would be nice to make a little money, like at some point. It's still zero. Hopefully that's going to change soon, but who knows? Who knows? So I think if people subscribe, if they watch the video from beginning to end, that will make a difference. Otherwise, it's just going to be randomness, and I can't predict randomness, and neither can anybody else on planet Earth. So that's it, guys. That's my take on theme park attendance and optimization there. I'm going to wrap it up right here. We're at 27 minutes. Under 30, that's nice. I try to keep these things under 30. Some have gone over 60. Got to admit, some got out of control there. Sometimes they go up to 40, 45. I try to keep it under 30. In this case, I did it. So mission accomplished there, okay? That's enough. I will save all this code. I will share it with you guys. File, save, and export HTML. I'll put the HTML file right next to the video. I'll put a link to that when I post the video later today. So you have all the code, you have the video, everything you need to be successful, right? Just copy, paste into a Jupyter notebook, run it, and you are good to go, okay? That's it. If you have a couple questions, Google it, ask ChatGPT, put it in the comment section. But honestly, like, I can't get to all the comments. I've got like 450 videos and a lot of comments out there. So I'm still waiting to get back to people on that. But try to get to it. But again, like, if you have questions, Google is great. ChatGPT is a great resource. You can post it in the comment section, but I might not be able to get to it. I think the comments is more appropriate for, I like this, I like that. Can you do a video, related to this topic, or do it, put a twist on it and look at this thing like that. I think that's a better use for comments. That's it. I'm going to wrap it up under 30 minutes. Thank you so much. I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.